Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, we are continuing our 5-year rebuild series here on the YouTube channel. Today, we are doing the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Now, you already know I love Coastal Carolina, the Coastal Boys, great football program, great beautiful field, great uniforms, very hot girls down there in Coastal Carolina. And they're like, Greg, you did Coastal Carolina last year as your last rebuild. Why are you doing it now? Well, right now, Coastal Carolina is booty cheeks. They are currently 0-3. They got blown out by Virginia. Actually, I think they had one win. They might have beaten FCS school, but they didn't blow them out. They also just got their, you know what, kicked in against ECU. So we're going to try to win a national championship for Coastal. We did it last year. Hopefully, we can do it now for the Coastal Boys. It's going to be tough, though. They're 69 overall, 71 on the offense, 66 on the defense. They run the power spread and a 4-2-5 defense. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the Coastal Boys, the Coastal Legends here on our roster. We have Raekwon Barber. I have no clue who he is. Was he even on the roster last year? I don't know. We have MJ Morris, Emmett Brown. I have never heard of any of these guys. I don't know if they're good or not. Jalen John is our running back, followed by Simpkins. This guy is a fucking beast. We love Javon Simpkins here. Edwards, the freshman, he's probably going to be hopefully a good piece for us. Well, hopefully Dominic too, and Mr. Townsend. But they all want to transfer, so we might get F there. No fullback receiver. Jamerson Tucker, he is also a legend as well. Malik, Malcolm, Colton, I don't know who any of these guys are. Kane Barron, is he the tight end that was there last year? I don't remember. I think I remember that name. I think he's also a Coastal legend, followed by those guys. Nick Del Grande at left tackle, also a legend. We love him here. Dominic and Juwan, two freshmen there. Bill Heston Edwards there. Thomas Johnson there. Julius Tate, I don't know who he is, be honest with you. I think he was here. I don't know. Joseph right tackle Noah Orenza. I think he was on the roster last year. Love him there. Abraham, I don't know how to say that, but I think he was here last year. I don't remember. Sawyer Gorm Welch. He was the center that transferred to DT. Still a Coastal legend in my eyes. Darian Henry Young. And then these guys here at the Sam, we have Cameron Avery. Luke Murphy, Wyatt, and Trey Brown are our top middle linebackers there. And then these guys here. Shane Bruce over at the wheel, followed by these guys. Cornerbacks, Lino Whittaker, Jeffrey, Robbie Washington, Miles Young, never heard of him, and then followed by these guys. I think Zach Cody was a freshman last year, Coastal legend already. Dante Thomas at free safety, Xavier McIntyre also was here last year, also a Coastal legend. And then we have Dre Pinky, Coastal legend already. We love him. He was a beast last year. And then followed by these guys there. And then the kicker, we have Hayden. Punter, we have M. Miley. All right, we serve free food to these college kids. Our team does not look good, so we got to, give these college students a reason to come, not only for the free food and beverages, but to show that we are a great team. Let's recruit. Quinton Shirls, committed. Anthony Blue, committed. Matthew Brady, committed. David Renya, committed. Mike Matlock, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2025, Heisman Trophy winner is John Mateer, quarterback of Oklahoma. He had 3,019 yards, 32 tutties, and a 70% completion percentage. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the First Responders Bowl, taking on 23-ranked North Texas Mean Green. And ladies and gentlemen, we fall 45-24. Damn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year one stats. Raekwon Barber, 261 for 438, 59% completion percentage, 2,965 yards, 24 tutties, and 7 picks. Rushing, Jalen John, 218 for 1,046, 8 tutties. Simpkins, 131 for 435 tutties. Barber, 107 for 124 tutties. Hinton, 8 for 19. Zach, 5 for 14. Damian, 1 for 4. Same with Jay Vaughn Evan, except he had 2 more carries. Receivings, Malik, 46 for 690, 696, 2 tutties. Tucker, 57 for 655, 6 tutties. Hinton, 50 for 600, 5 tutties. Kane, 43 for 485 tutties. Malcolm, 20 for 289, 3 tutties. Simpkins, 21 for 136, 3 tutties. John, 24 for 109. How about the defense here? 105 tackles by Luke Murphy, 73 by Dre Pinky, Whittaker 62, 60 by Thomas and Wyatt, Jeffrey with 56, same one Ezekiel, 43 by Noah, and Gordon 41. How about tackles for loss? 13 by Noah, Darian with 11, 10 by Sawyer, Ezekiel with 8, 7 by Luke, Dre, and Jeffrey with 3 apiece, 2 by Wyatt, Gordon, and Trey Brown, 1 by Whittaker, and notice sacks we had 4.5 by Sawyer, and Noah with 4, 2.5 by Ezekiel, 2 by Darian, one sack by Jeffrey, half sack by Brown, and Whittaker. Interceptions, we only have 3, 2 by Robbie Washington, and 1 by Whittaker. We are probably going to lose our entire team, so let's go hit that portal. And ladies and gentlemen, it was Georgia taking on Clemson, with Clemson winning 35-28 to win the Natty. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, everyone's leaving except Roquan Barber. He's going to stay, but we're probably going to try to find a quarterback. Yeah, it's not looking good, so we got to hit that portal. Keyshawn Hudson, committed. Collins Apachong, committed. Terrence Chase, committed. Jonathan Butt commits. James Fritsch commits. Paul Corris, committed. Tommy Qualls, committed. Tanner Heckel, committed. Rylan Kelly, committed. He's from Winnipeg, damn. Jaden Yates commits. Jordan Thomas, committed. Chase Herbstreit, committed. Caleb Beasley, committed. Noah Matthews, committed. Zaquan Patterson, committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 36th best recruiting class in the nation. That's the best in the Sun Belt. We're going to next year. Hopefully, maybe we can contend for the Sun Belt, but I don't know. George Hemphill, committed. Deshaun Martinke, committed. Dalton Vesey, committed. Josh Anger, committed. DJ Barron, committed. Barry McCormick, committed. Ahmed Kozar, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2026 Heisman Trophy winner is Sacco V. White Helton, receiver of Georgia. He had 105 receptions, 1,519 yards, and 18 receiving touchdowns. And ladies and gentlemen, we're once again going to the First Responder Bowl, taking on the UAB Blaze. And ladies and gentlemen, we fall to UAB 45-21. What's going on? Ladies and gentlemen, here are the U-tier stats. MJ Morris, 233 for 415, 56% completion percentage, 2,733 yards, 19 tutties, and 6 picks. Rushing, Edwards, 253 for 1,069 tutties. Brady, 74 for 307, 5 tutties. MJ Morris, 108 for 268, 8 tutties. Dominic, 28 for 107, 1 tutty. Zach, 7 for 13. Graves, 8 for 10. Receiving, Graves, 58 for 782, 7 tutties. Carmelo, 56 for 603, 4 tutties. Glass, 43 for 559, 4 tutties. Johnson, 41 for 402, 1 tutty. Edwards, 28 for 209. Xavier, 10 for 146, 2 tutties. Dominic, 5 for 32 with a tutty. Defensively, 90 tackles by Luke Murphy. Caleb, 68, 62 by Yates and Patterson. 58 for Tanner. Thomas, 49. 47 for Matthews. Washington, 45. 43 for Collins. Pritchett, 42. 41 for Matt. Tackles lost, 10 by Noah, Collins, and Hudson. 9 by Woodley. Murphy with 7 along with Lester. 5 by Yates. 4 by Patterson and Mack. 3 by Tanner and Robbie Washington with 1 sacks. Noah Matthews with 5, Matt Woodley with 5, 3 by Hudson, 3.5 by Hudson, 3 by Collins and Yates. Lester with 2, half sack by Luke, Patterson, Mack, and that's it there. Interceptions, Patterson, Heckel, and Caleb all with 3, 2 by Thomas, 1 by Yates, and Robbie Washington. Let's get to the portal and get some more talent. Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia tried to go on a run, but Florida beats their rivals 35-30 to win the national championship. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of people leaving. I believe we kept some people, but again, we got to hit the portal. My stream crashed, so yeah. I skipped through all the players. I'm going to commit. And then as we come over into here, we finish with the 32nd best class in the nation. That is, once again, the best in the Sun Belt. I feel like this year we've got some Bo Wilder committed. BJ Diablo committed. Ty Money Telefort committed. Sean Vaughn committed. Bryce Urban committed. Steven Titus committed. Terry Sly committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made the Sun Belt, and we're going to be taking on the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Robert Genius committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have won the Sun Belt here in year 3. Let's freaking go. D-Ron Dimukiji committed. Sergio Claiborne committed. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2027 Heisman Trophy winner is Christopher Bisnia, quarterback of Clemson. He had 3,995 yards, 33 tutties, and a 68 completion percentage. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to the Boca Raton Bowl, taking on Liberty. Ladies and gentlemen, we have won the Boca Raton. And ladies and gentlemen, we are Boca Raton Bowl champions here in year trays. Let's freaking go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the stats in year 3. Blake Herbert, 242 for 409, 59% completion percentage, 2,655 yards, 24 tutties, and 1 pick. Rushing, Adam, 228 for 929 tutties. Damian, 112 for 361, 2 tutties. Blake, 142 for 309, 7 tutties. The champ is here, 21 for 126, 1 tutty. Brady, 9 for 22. Son of a... I forgot to start him. He might transfer because of playing time. Son of a gun. Quentin, 5 for 8 with a tutty. Receiving, Deshaun, 58 for 709, 7 tutties. Barry, 44 for 589, 7 tutties. Chase, 51 for 491, 6 tutties. Beasley, 34 for 444, 3 tutties. Claiborne, 28 for 192. Adam, 20 for 152 with a tutty. Ahmad, 4 for 55. Champ, 3 for 23. How about the defense here? 89 tackles by Paul. Patterson, 68, 63 by Robbie. Cooper, 54, 53 by Jackson. Beasley, 52, along with Matlock. Collins, 51, 45 for Clark. Tackles lost, 16 by Collins. Clark, 14, 12 by Jenkins, 5 by Paul. Patterson, Washington, Matthews, and Woodley all at 4. 3 by Butt, Jackson, and Pritchett with 2 apiece. 1 by Cooper, Knight, and K1. Sacks we have 7.5 by Collins, 5.5 by Clark. Bryce Jenkins with 3, and Noah Matthews. Paul with 1.5, 1 by Coleman, and a half sack by Matt Woodley. Interceptions 3 by Patterson, 2 by Paul and Robbie Washington, 1 by Cooper and Chase. Year 3, we won the Sun Belt and the Boca Raton Bowl. Let's try to make the playoffs next year. And ladies and gentlemen, Penn State took on the Alabama Crimson Tide in the national championship. How about Tulane upsetting Michigan in the first round? Anyway, Penn State, with Penn State winning 35-23. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cooper is staying. We're losing Evans, Paul, and James. But we got to keep everybody here. We're on a good job of keeping players. We got to add in the portal. Let's go. Trey Lee committed. Clay Crisp committed. Quinton Jewell committed. Felipe Grimes committed. Tommy Pear Ass commits. Brad John committed. Wyquan Dokes committed. Daquan Whittaker committed. Matthew Driver committed. Quentin Taylor Jr. committed. Frank Daly committed. Victor Malone committed. Deontay Folkers committed. Anthony Addison committed. Juan Gonzalez committed. Jamrock Grimsley committed. Cam Pringle committed. Lewis Blum committed. Nicholas Clayton committed. Benry Wilson committed. Terrion Moorman committed. Cedric Surratt Jr. committed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 34th best class in the nation. That's the best in the Sun Belt. We won it last year. I think we can win it again. But can we make the playoff? That's the question. Tony Perez committed. Lamar Hook committed. Terrell Kafaka committed. Marcus Ingold committed. Daryl Berrien committed. Julius Bromell committed. Gio Waiters committed. Antonio Dubois commits. Ben Salas committed. And ladies and gentlemen, we've made the Sun Belt and we're taking on Southern Miss. And ladies and gentlemen, your 2028 Heisman Trophy winner is Julian Lewis, quarterback of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He had 3,739 yards, 34 tutties, and a 70% completion percentage. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the salute to service, or salute to Veterans Bowl. We're just going to the Veterans Bowl, taking on Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, we lose to Miami, Ohio, 34-16. Unbelievable. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are the year 4 stats. Blake Herbert, 280 for 435, 64% completion percentage, 3,343 yards, 25 tutties, and 3 picks. Rushing, Brady, 245 for 1,324, 24 tutties. Please don't go to the draft. Claiborne, 128 for 529. He had 0 tutties. Herbert, 120 for 392, 6 tutties. Adam, 36 for 148, 8 tutties. Vesey, 9 for 17. How about the receiving? Vesey, 69 for 908, 9 tutties. Deshaun, 59 for 721, 6 tutties. Barry, 43 for 623, 3 tutties. Chase, 49, 559, 3 tutties. Ahmed, 21 for 234, 3 tutties. Claiborne, 18 for 123. Brady, 15 for 112, 1 tutty. Adams, 6 for 62. Defensively, 86 tackles by Tommy. Clay, 64-54 by Quentin Taylor Jr. Jarrett Grimsley, 53, 48 for Beasley, 46 for Urban. Jenkins, 44, 42 for Coleman. Tackles lost 17 by Jenkins. Clark with 13, 8 by Butt. Clayton with 7. 5 by Woodley, Tommy with 4, along with Chris and Coleman and Benino and Bradley Harris. 2 by Taylor Jr., Grimsley, and Fulkerts. 1 by Beasley, Urban, and Pritchett. Sacks, Bryce Jenkins with 9, 5.5 by Clark, 5 by Clayton, 2 by Woodley and Harris, 1.5 by Butt, 1 by Chris, half sack by Tommy, Cooper, Taylor Jr., and Bryce. Interceptions, we had 6 by Beasley, Quentin Taylor Jr. with 3, along with Grimsley, 2 by Urban, 1 by Clayton, Chris, and Matlock. Hopefully next year we make the playoffs, so we got to go to the transfer portal and add talent. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Penn State goes back-to-back, this time beating Clemson, and they put belt to ass. They beat them 49-21. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Brady is off to the NFL, but Adam is going to stay. He was going to go to the draft, but thank God we got him. Butt is going to stay with us, along with Qualls. I mean, we got to keep most of our roster intact, but we still got to add. Let's go. Greg Brownlee, committed. Cedric Millard, committed. John Carvalho, committed. Sean Bond, committed. Xavier Sauer, committed. Tim Harvin, committed. Nate Ring, committed. Abdul Cassie, committed. Julius Pryor, committed. JJ McGregor, committed. Gordon Marciano, committed. Russell Weldon, committed. Hona Pena, committed. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished with the 23rd best class in the nation. That's once again the best in the Sun Belt. We've got all the talent. We've got the best recruiting classes. Come on, let's go win the Coastal Boys a natty. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here is the final roster. Blake Herbert up to a 92 overall. He should be our guy. Adam and friends there. Receivers look very decent, or at least our top 4. Tight end, Chase looks pretty good. Our O-line looks pretty solid. How about Fulkerts? Looking pretty good over there. Jonathan Butt. D-line looking really nasty, I would say. Sam, we got Blue. We got Frank and Tommy holding the middle down. Xavier at the wheel there. Our corners look really freaking good, if I'm being honest. Free safety. Bryce Urban, we'll see how he does there. Clay Chris. So it looks like our transfers, that we got in year 3 and 4 developed for us. So that's a nice signing. There's Rick, the kicker, and there's Joseph. So that is the team we built. I'm loving the team. So yeah, this should hopefully be enough to win us natty. So let's turn auto recruiting on and get the simming. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are currently 8-0 with 4 games left to go. Anything's possible. Let's go. Win the Sun Belt first, and then playoff. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the Sun Belt, and again, we're taking on Southern Miss. And ladies and gentlemen, we have won the Sun Belt. We beat Southern Miss 35-16. I accidentally skipped the graphic. But hey, you get to see the score now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to college football playoff, taking on the Florida Gators. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Gainesville, Florida. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, home to the Florida Gators. Chomp, chomp. Let me tell you something, Coastal. We always believe here. I mean, honestly, we're going into the swamp, but let's be real, folks. It's really not that hard to play. I mean, if USF can go in there and put belt to ass, I mean, surely the Coastal Boys can. I mean, yeah, it's real life, but this is a video game. I mean, this fucking video game, Stadium Pulse, is fucking very hard to play in than in real life, but, fuck these fucking Stadium Pulse shit. Anyway, Coastal Boys believe. Terrence Chase with a 19-yard touchdown and give us a 7-zip lead. Coastal Boys on top. Deshaun Martink with a 9-yard touchdown. 14-0 Coastal. Coastal Boys still on top. All right, 4th and 2, 17 all. We're going for it. Herbert. He's got 1st and 10. We're down 7. Here we go. Herbert. Wilder catches it, and he will get out of bounds. All right, 1st and 10 after that big gain. Herbert. He's got a man. He caught it. All right, 1st and 10 after that big gain. Herbert again. He's got a man underneath. Chase, 1st down. Take a little clock here. Here we go, 1st and 10. Let the clock run a little bit. Adam Kruger. Let's go. From the 5, here we go. Herbert hands it off. Adam, he's in. Touchdown, Coastal. Here we go. We're going for 2 and the win. Oh my God, he fucking got it. We got the 2-point. Suck on that, Florida. All right, 1st and 10. Here we go. The game is on the line. Yep, underneath, timeout Florida. Here we are, 5 seconds to go. Hail Mary time for Florida. Do they have a miracle in them? He's just looking, he's looking. He's going to fire it underneath. And that's the ball game. Your Coastal Carolina Chanticleers are going to beat Florida. And they will now be advancing to the quarter frickin' finals. Let's frickin' go. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, taking on Oklahoma State. Here we are in Jerry's World, home of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. It's no fair. Oklahoma State had to take, like, a private jet or buses, whatever you want to say. We had to go on a flight halfway across the country, but it doesn't matter. Coastal boys persevere. When adversity hits Coastal boys, we adapt and we believe and we put pedal to the metal. Coastal, Oklahoma State, right here, right now. Believe, boys, believe. Barry McCormick, 22-yard touchdown to give us a 7-0 lead. Coastal boys, stand up. Third down. Here we go. This is the game right here. The Raiders game. First and goal from the 5. Herbert, hands off. Casby's in for the end zone. Coastal boys stand the fuck up. 14-3 over Oklahoma State. First and goal from the 9. Herbert, hands off. Casby going nowhere. Second and goal. Herbert. He's going to take off. Herbert up the middle. Here we go. Third and goal from the 1. Herbert takes it himself. He's short. Yeah, we're going to go for this again. Here we go. Fourth and goal. Herbert. He's in. Touchdown, Coastal Boys. 21-10 at the half. Ladies and gentlemen, Coastal Boys stand up. Coastal Boys on top. We beat them 31-17. We're now on to the semis. We're now one step closer to a national title. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the Rose Bowl, taking on number 1 Penn State, the back-to-back champions Penn State. Let's go. Believe. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California. This is the game where dreams come true. The defending back-to-back national champions Penn State Nittany Lions are going for the 3-peat, but they face now the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. They're playing Coastal Boys, and here in Coastal Boys outsmart you, they outwork you, and when we have belief, that's something Penn State don't have. Coastal, you want a natty? Let's go beat the defending champions. Here we go, Herbert. Fucking hate everything. If we want to make Coastal history, comeback starts now. 24-6, Herbert. Please. Oh my god, these animations suck. Honestly, kick the field goal is not the worst. It'd be a 2-touchdown game. Yeah, Chargers going in for a fucking score too. Here we go. Herbert. He caught it. Let's fucking go. Wow. All right, 2-point attempt. Got a man. We're now down 10. 10-point. We need to stop. 4th and 10. This is the game. Here we go. Herbert. Underthrows it. You fucking cocksucker. And it's a pick 6. GG's. There's a reason why Penn State is the back-to-back defending national champions. It was too much for your Coastal Boys to handle. Just sad and heartbroken. That's all I can feel right now. Coastal Boys, Coastal Girls, I am heartbroken. I thought we built a really good squad. It just, Penn State has a really good freaking team, I guess, because they won the Natty 2 years ago. They won it again last year. Penn State's really good. I thought we could beat them. But, you know, it is what it is. I guess I could say with the simulation and the recruiting this year, but we gave it our best shot. I mean, we won one with the Coastal Boys last year. I wanted to do it again. We didn't. We failed, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. I'm kind of heartbroken because I fucking love this fucking school. I love these colors. Just heartbroken, you know what I mean? Comment down below. Should I go down to a Coastal Carolina football game this year, or maybe next year? I'm debating on it, but I don't know. Maybe I should. They have free concessions. I don't know. What I need you to do, since I'm heartbroken and sad right now, hit the like button, hit the sub button, hit like and subscribe. You motivate me to keep doing this. With that being said, I hope you have a great day or a great night, depending on when you're watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.